All right, gentlemen, great having you both here. Now, we're just about a week away from this huge middleweight showdown. And Champ, I'll start with you first. How are you feeling just 7 days out from UFC 263?
I feel great. I came into work early. I'm now in Phoenix and had my first little shakeout last night, getting used to this desert air. And yeah, it's different, but my body adapts really quickly and I'm feeling in top shape.
And Marvin, as we know, you fought just back in April. So how's the body feeling?
Great, man. Best shape of my life, technically, physically, and mentally in the right place. And I'm ready to go, man.
As we know, you guys fought just 3 years ago, and we're returning to the scene of the crime in Arizona. So let me ask you, why is this rematch going to be different? And Marvin, I'll start with you.
It's destiny, man. It happened 3 years ago. It went like it went. I think I won that fight, but now we get to settle the score. And but he laughs, but he's gonna see. He's gonna see. I'm gonna settle the score once for all, and I'm gonna show the world who's the best middleweight around.
The fact that he actually still thinks and holds on to that loss like his best win of his life.
I'm not holding on. It's just facts.
You're holding on to that loss. It's not a fact. You could ask anyone.
Listen,
bet you in the comments underneath this. In the comments underneath this.
I don't give a because
many times you lost.
Everybody believe your bull hype. Everybody believe your bull hype, bro. They listed you as higher as what you are. They listed you as 6'4". You're 6'2",
Marvin,
bro.
Marvin, let me ask you. So
this guy is full of. It's always been.
Well, Marvin, let me ask you.
They
say you learn more from your losses. Of course, your last loss was to the champ. What did you learn about yourself in that fight?
My loss? That wasn't a loss. That wasn't a loss. But I mean, I learned a lot, just because, training every day and competing with the best and like I said, I don't believe nobody's hype. I wouldn't believe my own hype if I had any hype on me, I believe on everyday training and me showing up in the gym and doing what I do. That's what I believe in. Everybody believes on this guy's hype, and I'm here to just derail it one more time, once for all, and settle the score. And this is when he counted the most.
Well, Lizzie, let me ask you, a lot of people are talking about the improvements that Marvin has made, but you, of course, have also improved. So, why are you going to send an even bigger message to Marvin next weekend, pardon me?
Well, I mean, they talk about improvements. If you look at my improvements over how many fights and his improvements over how many fights, it's vastly different. We're not the same. We're not even in the same stratosphere, not even on the same realm. Understand that.
Well, what do you mean by that? What do you mean? Listen,
the way I move,
it has no arguments. Where did you improve?
No arguments. I've improved my striking. I've improved my grappling. The only thing you've improved, I'll give you one thing. You've only changed up your takedowns a little bit. You flipped up your takedowns a little bit. It's the same thing. You still push your punches. You still plod. You still plod, and you have no footwork.
I love that you see that way. Man,
I'm giving you props. I tell the truth. Unlike you, I tell the truth. I'll say, yeah, you've improved your
I'm telling
wrestling
the truth. How many times did I prove you wrong? You're not telling the truth, because if you were telling the truth, you would be honest with yourself, and you would see that most of the time
That's
you're
why
wrong
I won the last fight, and I realized
every time you're wrong about me.
Let that go. Unlike you, I have let that go.
Yeah.
That's in the past.
When I saw you,
I'll tell you one thing. Okay, listen. This time, I'm gonna finish the job. Last time you had hope. You had hope because one dumb judge gave you that fight when everyone else knows that you lost that fight. But this time, I'm gonna make sure I finish the job. So no doubt,
things you can't lie about.
You're gonna look at me. You're gonna look at me.
There's some things that you can lie about, and what you can't lie about is that face that you had after your fight. The same face that you had after the John Blachowicz fight you had against me. The same face.
It's not the same face. What same face?
I was the same.
I knew what that fight was. That's the difference. I knew what that fight was, unlike you. And the fact that you can even celebrate another man's victory like it's your own, that shows kind of what you are.
I don't like you, man. I
hate
no.
And that time you ran up with me in Vegas. You ran up with me in Vegas. You understand?
What did you do? What did you do? And then what did you?
You didn't do
to the media after.
You didn't do I said, all right.
What happened there? What happened there? Tell the media.
Hey, what are you
so
doing?
Everybody can say that. Everybody can see that you lied.
You're a bitch, man.
Israel, and you came right away, and you were like, "Oh,
you ran up on me with dumb pig ass face, and you were smiling like pig. That's what you were doing. Oh, what are you doing?
I was smiling. What the are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, you were.
I believe that was I wish there was a video about that moment because he was
Marvin.
like,
hey,
let me jump in here, fellas.
We know. The people that know, but we know. You can lie all you want, but we know. That's different.
Bro, yeah, we know exactly, bro.
No, exactly. And you will find out. You will find out again. Trust me.
Absolutely, yes.
Guys.
I'll finish the Italian job, part 2.
Marvin, of course, you know, a lot of personal heat on this one, but you said this week to ESPN that everybody else is a step behind you, including the champion Adesanya. So can you explain that, please?
He is, and he's proven me exactly right by the way he's thinking, and I love it. And I love that he's thinking that way. I'm not gonna even like say nothing. Yes, you're right. My footwork doesn't work. I mean, I'm just gonna wrestle you, buddy. I'm just gonna come in and try to hang on a leg and then take you down and eventually tear you up. That's exactly what I'm gonna do, buddy.
Is it? What do you say to that?
Oh, he can try. I mean, it's not like anyone that hasn't tried in my first, second, third, fourth, fifth. How many UFC fights? They have been trying that same shitty game
I tried, and I succeeded at it, to be honest.
What did you do with the takedown? Tell me what you did. I sat down for about 2 minutes. I got back up and I whooped your ass.
I still got you down. And when you came back
up, I got back up.
What did you do?
And what? When you take someone down, what did you do? Try and finish the fight. I you up. I styled on you. I made your face even uglier than it was. That's the difference.
Bro, you had way more signs. You had way more signs than I had after our fight.
Bro, I've got receipts. I've got pictures.
The only thing that you did,
I styled on you. You tried to kick on me. I did the Matrix on you, and I came back and I blasted you with an uppercut.
Oh wait,
the tape. We can roll the tape right now.
The only thing that you were doing this for 2 months. That's what you were doing.
Well, Izzy, let me jump in here. Obviously, this fight is over 5 rounds, not 3 rounds.
Bitch ass.
How is that going to make a difference?
No. Bro, you went like this, and then you went this.
Oh, I elbowed you, and then you were like, ref.
I wasn't even phased by the elbow.
Yeah, you were. You try to run away. You try to scurry with your tail between your legs. Don't worry. Just stay tuned. The whole meal's coming.
Please,
well, listen, that meal will be served over 5 rounds as opposed to 3 rounds last time. So, Izzy, how does that make this fight different?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you one thing. You see these nostrils, they're taking all the oxygen in the room. I don't get tired at all, not once. He starts mouth breathing at the end of the first round. He starts mouth breathing at the end of the first round.
You know why? You know why? Because there's no action on his fights. Look at the Romero fight. He's just like...
I can't even hear anything you're saying. I can't hear anything you're saying.
Marvin, let me ask you this.
Bro, just buy some new AirPods.
Marvin, let me ask you. Of course, next week, if you're successful, Marvin, if you're successful next week, you'll become the first and only ever Italian UFC champion. How important is that to you?
Means everything, man. It means everything. This is destiny, and he can't stop it. It's a juggernaut. It's unstoppable. I'm coming to take everything, and I'm gonna be the first Italian UFC champion. I believe it to the fullest, to the bottom of my heart. I'm gonna do it.
Not in this realm.
Izzy, we know that you're big into body language and looking at fighters and making reads. So what have you made of Marvin Vettori's behavior over the last 6 months, and how excited are you to see him next week in Arizona?
He's like that crazy ex-girlfriend that you dump and won't leave you alone. They'll keep stalking you, scratching your car, coming to your workplace, harassing you, trying to get your attention in every way. My nightmare. Bro, you're the Italian wet dream. You're the Italian wet dream. You ain't no nightmare. Shut the up. You're that little ex I dumped. I didn't even hang out with you, and you still come. Your boy Gastelum had every right. Your boy Gastelum had every right to come at me.
How many times you said that you were not going to see me again? How many times you said that you were not going to see me? How many times did I prove you wrong?
You haven't proved me wrong at all. You ain't done. Trust me, you not prove me wrong this weekend. Next weekend, you're not going to...
Did you say that I was not going to see you again? How many times did you say that?
You're not going to see me. You can't see me. Trust me. You're going to try and see me, but you can't see me. When you get in that cage, the first time, you didn't see me. You tried to touch me how many times you couldn't see me.
You realize that.
But doesn't mean you can't see me.
I'm taking that belt.
You're going to fight, or you can't see me.
Marvin.
There's a difference. Levels to this.
Yeah, for sure.
Marvin, of course.
I have a higher defense in the middleweight division than you have. And you talk about me being able to see you?
Well, gentlemen, let's end it on this.
You get hit every time. You're a walking punching bag.
Where? How do I have that? Why is this guy like burping? Like this guy's like, he's grimy as
Well, Marvin, let me ask you this.
Yeah,
Of
I'm
course, you're
driving.
very
I'm
confident
gully,
coming into
bitch.
the matchup next week, but how are you going to win this fight, and what round are you going to finish him in?
Who are you talking to me or to him?
Marvin.
Get
I'm
some
gonna
better
frustrate
AirPods in
him
my
from the
hair.
first. What? Oh,
Buy some better AirPods.
I'm gonna beat him. I'm gonna beat him every second. I'm gonna beat him every. I said the moment that the fight starts, I'm gonna look like I'm the champion, and he's just gonna like hang around by the cage, by the cage, and I'm gonna have the middle of the cage the whole time, and he's gonna run around until he stops, and I'm gonna him up.
And Dizzy,
And
let me
Run
ask
my
you,
knee into
eventually,
your face.
next weekend, UFC 263 main event, what happens when you two get locked in the cage together?
Watch this. Just stay tuned.
he doesn't even
I'm
know.
telling
He doesn't
you,
even
this
know.
time. Oh no, trust me. I'm gonna finish the job this time. That's all I know. I'm gonna finish the job.
Please.
You're gonna have zero hope.
Please,
You're gonna
come
have
and
no
fight.
hope after this fight.
Come and
Just shut
fight.
the and listen. You hear? You might actually learn something. I'm gonna give you zero hope. So when the fight's done, you're gonna look at me and know that I am better than you. You have zero hope this time. I'm gonna finish the Italian job. Part 2. I don't try. I do, bitch. Oh, trust me, I
Bring
do.
the fight,
And I will.
Oh yeah.
Well, gentlemen.
Great. Like you did with John and like you did with Yoel. Yes, perfect.
Well,
Oh,
gents.
yeah, of course, I did.
Thanks for joining
100%.
us today.
You lost both
If
fights.
this is anything to go by, the fight is going to be incredible. Enjoy the last 7 days of preparation, and good luck in the fight next week. Take care.
Yeah, just shake it off. Shake it off, bitch. Yeah, shake it off.